Tuning. Well, it's a fairly simple thing on the face of it. We tune up before we play most of the time. Although you might have noticed that a lot of professional players don't. They just seem to pull out the instrument, do a warm-up, whatever, and then play. There's a good reason for that. And look at tuning in two parts. One is just you individually tuning, and the other is then tuning up to play with a large ensemble, say a big band. Individually tuning is a funny thing because we tend to move this tuning slide on the trumpet to make it flatter or sharper. We put it in the right spot. Of course, that right spot changes all the time. Let's firstly talk about from day to day. The temperature in the room, who you're playing with. If you're tuning to a piano, that piano is going to have a certain pitch about it. It may not be A 440. It could be lower or higher than that. And it will actually vary from day to day anyway. You can walk into the same rehearsal room every day and the pitch is going to be different. So we just get to the right spot for today, and only for that part of the day. In the afternoon it might get a little warmer and the pitch is going to move again. And even if we keep tuning to something that doesn't change, like an electronic tuner, where this slide has to go to be with the tuner will change with temperature and humidity. So there is no right spot for it, but it's usually around the same spot each day. And what we do is we do a lot of lipping the pitch up and down. Now when I move that tuning slide into the right spot for the moment that I'm tuning, it's only for the note that I tuned. I'm sure most of you are aware that the trumpet itself is out of tune with itself. There are certain notes that are sharp or flat, even on a very good trumpet. So what do we do about that? We have to play in tune. You can't be reaching down and moving the tuning slide all the time while you're playing, and we don't. We use our lip to lift or lower the pitch. Now if you haven't tried that yet, you need to try it as soon as you can, because the only way to play a trumpet in tune. How does it affect how we tune up? Well, I want you to tune up the same way you're going to play. And generally we don't. What we do is we get a tuning note. Say someone plays a B flat from the piano. I'll play a B flat concert on the trumpet now. Now if we're tuning to that note, then that's the right pitch for today. Let's never mind about what it relates to. Okay, we're going to tune to that note. If I said to you, now you tune, take out your trumpet and try it right now. You'll actually play a note. Now it's going to sound either sharper or flatter than mine, and you'll move your tuning slide. If you're tuning up that way, I want you to try something different. There's a problem with that. One thing is you're just blowing the instrument straight, so to speak, just however it comes out, and then you wait till you hear it and go, oh, it's sharp or it's flat. You don't do anything about it right away. You stop playing and move the slide. Why would I tune up that way when that's not the way I'm going to play? Because when we start playing a piece together, you're not going to keep stopping and moving this. You're going to have to just blow in tune. That's one problem. The other problem is, if there were a bunch of us in the one room, say a big band, and we get a note from the piano and I start pointing and go, okay, sax, 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 trombone, trombone, trumpet, what I hear is I hear 17 wrong notes and one right one. And everyone's moving their slides to get it right. But they'll play 3 or 4 wrong notes, like out of tune notes, before they play the one note that's in tune. How are my ears going to lock into what the pitch is today if I'm hearing more out of tune notes than in tune notes? You with me what's happening here? The piano's right, so to speak, and then everyone starts playing notes that are out of tune while they tune up. So what do I want you to do? I want you to hear the right note and then play it. Now sure, if I'm not sure where it is, as I first play the note it might be a little sharp or flat, but I immediately lip so that it's in tune. What would you hear then if a band tuned up that way? You'd hear the right note, then you'd hear the right note. The person might stop and move their slide a bit, because if I had to lip up, well, I'll push this in so I don't have to. Do you notice then the tuning slide on the trumpet serves a different function then? The first way that you might have been doing it, it brings the trumpet into tune. The second way, I'm playing the trumpet in tune anyway. This becomes the I'll make it easier to play slide rather than the tuning slide. And the reason I think it's better to do it like that is that's how you're going to have to do it when you start playing along with the band anyway. Why tune up differently? Also, I'm going to hear nothing but right notes mostly as we tune up. And by the time the band plays, we've all been hearing this one note in tune over and over again as each person in the band tunes up. So when we go to play, we really have that pitch fixed in our mind. Okay, so to recap, tuning, instead of just blowing a note and if it's out of tune, letting it sound out of tune and then going and moving the slide to fix it, blow, and as soon as you hear it, sharpen or flatten the note with your lips so that we hear mostly the right note. And then notice, did I have to go up or down with my lips, and move the slide accordingly to fix it. Get in your mind what this slide does is not put the trumpet in tune. It makes it easier to play the trumpet by meaning you don't have to tune so much with your lips. If you tune up that way, there's no change when you start playing the piece. You go, I've already been doing it. I'm just playing in tune. And you will always play in tune.